Okay, yay.
Hello.
Well, welcome, Nikolett, to Beauty and the Breakup podcast. I'm so excited to have you as a guest.
Me too. I'm so excited. And I remember when I was living in San Francisco, you were writing your book.
Oh, really? I was still writing
Yeah.
it then.
I think so. When the book came out,
Was it 2016? 26.
maybe a little because I was in San Francisco in 2017. So
Hmm.
that's what I remember. Maybe the book
Maybe it
was
was
out already.
2018. I
Yeah. Anyway,
numbers,
so I
you know.
remember those days. And I remember when you released the book actually, and you had the book launch, and I was on one of those calls. So, and I
Oh,
have the
cool.
book. So,
Oh, yay.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear from different people and the different experiences and how they use the tools. And I know you use the tools through your breakup.
Yes, I did.
So
Yes.
where should we start? What would you like to share?
I mean, I was using these tools in two breakups actually because I started in 2016 in Hungary, back in Hungary, and in 2016 July, this is when I took my first foundation class, and I met my ex-boyfriend at the time, boyfriend, just a month after, or like a couple of weeks after. I remember on the summertime. And so I was using those tools at the same time I was using on him, not on myself, being honest. And, when you're like, oh, that's an interesting point of view you have. And now I know I wouldn't say that if someone's point of view would bother me, I would go, okay, what point of view do I have that this bothers me? And, I was using the tool on myself. And that wasn't really bright.
That's huge. Okay, everybody just hear that. Like everybody wants to use the tools to fix other people, but when you use it for you, it doesn't really matter what other people do. You choose for you, and like your whole
Yes.
life changes.
Yes. But honestly, so I met him and I just took a foundation before that. And when you are like right, because you have these tools and you know what's going on and how it works, and but you are not there yet. And that was kind of a thing in this relationship for the whole time. So when I look back to this relationship, we can talk about it more. I could see I would say mistakes and also what I was doing at the time, what I was being at the time. And then it came my next relationship. I moved back to Hungary and I had another relationship where me and my boyfriend, we started to work together after a couple of months. And honestly, it was amazing. At the beginning, we were working together, creating a lot together, but man, things went wrong also there. So we have a lot to cover. So I don't know where we should start.
Well, one thing I think that's always really helpful is like when you try to get it right. Man, each time I had a new person in my life, I'd be like, okay, this time I'm going to use the tools and get it right. But, if you start off with that, you're already in judgment of yourself, of them, of the whole situation. So it's never going to end happily when you're using judgment as the creation.
Yeah, exactly. I I did that too, of course. And then of course for the second time I was like, I'm gonna do this right. And I just had a really funny story just recently.
Yeah.
In May, I've been to the castle in Italy, in Torino, Castle di Castel Borgone. For a couple of days, that had a 3-day body class. And then I decided to go. No, sorry, that was because I was there 2 times. No, I was there for Easter. Sorry, and Easter Monday, I decided to go to Venice. And on the train, I downloaded a dating app. And because I was bored, it's 3 hours from Torino to go to Venice. And on the train, I had a match with this really handsome Italian guy. He's like 32 years old, like 8 years younger than I was. And we started talking so much that I arrived to the hotel and I I did not leave the hotel room for the next day, the afternoon. So basically 24 hours, I was just talking to him over the phone. And sorry. And so I told him, hey, I really need to leave my room. It's amazing to talk to you. I just need to go out to get some lunch. And I went to lunch, and then he texted me with a room key from my hotel. He's like, if you come back, you can find me here. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
wow. And he was not living in Venice. And it was so amazing for me because I was always craving a man who would choose such a thing or make an effort or just show up basically.
Grand gesture. Yeah.
And it was amazing. And so we met. It was amazing. And what I did right away, I made him so significant. I was, stalking him on Instagram. I have to share this story because it was so funny. It's been 11 years that I've been to my first foundation class. I use the tools every single day in my life. Like there was not a day that I wasn't using them. And so this guy shows up and I went cuckoo right
Almost
away.
go out the window.
And I just had to stop talking to him. I had to stop, like, I didn't block him, but I muted him so I don't see what he shares because I realized it had nothing to do with him. He was amazing. It was what I was being in that. And I realized by that I grew up in an environment where, my parents, it was never safe. It was always a lot of arguments, a lot of fights, money situations, cheating, unsaid things, hidden things. It was just like a lot going on. And I realized that early on I learned that I have to manage things, I have to heal them, I have to help them. I always had a project. I just realized with this Italian story that I did the same with this guy. I needed a project, and because when I stepped into, he was amazing, but he was not for me. I knew the very beginning because when I stepped into the room, he was not available emotionally. That you could tell right away. And it's not a good or bad thing, who cares? But I knew. But then I was like, oh, he's not available. He's my man. There you go. And
Those old habits, like
oh
they take
man.
over, even if you're being conscious in these other areas.
Yeah,
Those habits
exactly.
are really, yeah.
It was the funniest thing. And I didn't feel this emotion since I met my ex-husband.
Mm.
That's when it kicked in a lot, and there was a lot of messy stuff going on in our relationship, but I loved it. The messier it got, I loved it more. It was so interesting. And so that's what I'm learning with this stuff is how to stay yourself. And it's nothing to do with the person you meet. It's what your reaction you give to this situation. So it was a lot of fun going through that process. It was not comfortable, but at the end I was like, wow, that was really good for me that I chose to see this guy and have been going through this because that showed me what I needed to change, in
Mm.
order to not choosing it the next time or because it's just
Yeah.
an autopilot that was taking on without me even realizing it. It took me 1 week when I was talking to him, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, who am I being?
Yeah. What's interesting that's kind of popping right now as you're saying this is like the the way you found each other. The thing was to fill the time because you were bored,
Mm,
right? And it's like the choice creates. So what questions were you, and if we were asking like who would be fun, who would be nurturing, who would expand my life, that kind of thing, there might be a different person who shows up. But I think a lot of people go on the apps because they're bored, because they want something to do to fill their life, and they're not actually consciously choosing something. Not
I,
that it's right or wrong, but that's what you get.
I I think you're so right. So I'm now in Mexico City. I'm living in Hungary for those of you who doesn't know. And I just came to Mexico City and the first thing was, oh, I'm in a new country. I should download, this app. And so I did. And I had no time to go on the app, only on the evenings when I was done and I went to bed. And I was kind of scrolling and then after a couple of days I was like, it's not that it's good or bad. I'm not saying because of that. I'm just realizing with myself is, do I trust myself enough to meet someone just in person? Do I trust the universe that the right person, the right time? The right person, I mean by that is someone who works for me now. It's not that it's a relationship or something. Maybe it's just a friendship or anything. I let it go and I was like, okay, I need to delete this app. I don't need to use this. And I did. And the very next day, I was walking here at Parque Mexico and this guy was going by with a scooter. And then I realized someone was talking to me after a couple of minutes. And I turned around. I'm like, hi. I'm like, can I help you? He was laughing. He's like, no, you can't help me. I saw you and I think you're pretty. And I turned around and I'm like, oh, sorry. I got it. And so we exchanged WhatsApp. And the next day I was walking around that area and this guy started following me. I sat down. I was on a class with Simone for 2 hours. He waited 2 hours and then he came to me. He wanted just to talk to me, but not, I don't think about him as a relationship, but more like a friendship. But still, something changed right away when I asked those questions. Like, do I
Yeah.
trust the universe that I can just meet anyone in the grocery store or whatever I am?
Yeah. I don't know if you know, I wrote a second book, Fun with
No.
Online Dating,
Okay.
and like the different questions and like the headspace to be in when you do open the app and the questions that, might set you up for a better experience.
Can you find it on Amazon, maybe?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, I need that. It changed so much for me because I was at home, I was so much in my head, so much going on, a lot of work to do, blah blah, and I wasn't really being myself. And if I look back, why I wasn't really seeing anyone for the past 2 years, it's only if I was in a dating app, maybe. And I just realized what you just said, the headspace you are in with all of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm just so open, like, okay, I'm happy to meet anyone, everywhere. Universe, surprise me.
Hmm.
I want to meet amazing, nurturing, kind, fun people. Thank you. It can be
Yeah.
a friendship. It can be a woman that I can be friends with. It can be a man I can be friends with. It can be someone I can hook up with. Who cares? Just show
Yeah.
me what's
Yeah.
available.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And I feel like, especially for women who are single, um, like having that time to be with yourself
Mm,
and get to know who you are without that other person
yeah.
really builds that muscle so that you don't give yourself up at the drop of a hat when you meet somebody else.
Thank you for saying that. And also because, I used to be addicted to relationship. I needed one. Especially, all this story about me that I had the point of view for so long that I need a man who provides, who pays for stuff. And it comes from my culture in Hungary that's what it was also for my parents. And also, as I was growing up, I wasn't the best student at school. I wasn't good in the English class. I was crap, and both my math teacher and also my English tutor, they both told me, "Hey, you're not really good at this stuff. Like you need a man. You just find a man for yourself, and you're gonna be fine." And all of this stuff, and also my mom, because we were poor, and my mom was always struggling with money And she always told me, never marry a poor guy, never ever, all these stuff. And I had that. And I was like, I need a relationship. Oh my God. Not just for someone provides for me, also just if you share, it's less stressful. That was my point of view. And so after my divorce, it was really painful because I can remember maybe I had $1,000 on my American account. I got back to Hungary and I had to pay a couple other things in the US. So basically it was 700. It was so not enough to even restart my life, just get a new apartment or stuff like that. So it was really not easy for me. And I remember one day, 2 or 3 months into this breakup situation, I had this really old iPhone and I woke up in the morning, I took off the charger and my battery dropped to 1% just right away. And I'm like, oh, my battery is dead. I need a new phone. So I need a boyfriend. That was my thinking.
Wow.
And I catch myself and I was like, what? Oh. And I was like, okay, I gotta change my life. I just find the one thing that fucking fucks my life up. I need to change this. So I sit down with myself. I went downstairs. I get a coffee. I was like, okay, Nikolett, let's look at this stuff. And so that's when I find I'm like, wow, I really do have this fixed point of view that in order to get along with life, I need a man. I need someone who provides. I need someone who takes care of me. And I changed it. And it's been 7 years that we got divorced and I came back to Hungary. And it changed so much in me. I changed so much with this, and I don't have this need. And I also realized, I don't know what about you, but the more I know about myself and the less I give myself up, the less I want to be in a relationship, honestly. And I'm open for someone who is open to build something separately and also together and have fun. But me arguing with someone every single day or have to have a conversation every day, because that's what my last relationship was, we were so different. So I realized in that relationship that toxic relationship, it doesn't really come from some people is narcissistic or blah, blah. I really believe that toxic relationship comes from if the two people want the exact opposite. So basically, my ex-boyfriend, he wanted to be together all the time. He just wanted to spend all the time together, do everything together, 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 together. And he was like so touchy and I just wanted freedom. I just wanted to do my thing. I wanted to go out with my friends. I wanted to go to the gym by myself. I just wanted to live, breathe, or have my life. And he hated it. And all the arguments and everything came back to this one thing that we
Mhm.
were completely opposites. So
Mhm.
now I know after that relationship, I need someone who also likes space, who also likes to be in his own whatever universe, or he likes to do his own thing, but at the same time, also open to create something together. And that took me, I'm 40, it's never too late, but it's really good to see that and be aware of that.
Yeah. 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 Well, you've heard about the three qualities that need to be there so that you can create a good relationship?
I do, if you mean the thing from foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we share?
So
Can you say it?
the first one is that they have to be good in bed, and
Mm.
it goes both directions, like you for them and them for you. So it works. Um, they contribute. So whether it's money, energy, whatever for you to create and you contribute to them. And then they allow you to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and
Mm.
you for them. And that's that thing of the space. And one thing that I notice is that even though my last relationship would say, oh, yes, you can do whatever you want, whatever, and I give you space, psychically, I could feel him like
Yeah.
magnifying glass, like, what are you doing? Where are you? Checking up all the time and this weird jealousy thing. I'm like, what is going on? You don't have to worry. I'm like super loyal. I just need space. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Wow.
So even
Mhm.
though you can be aware of that and you can ask for it. And when I meet people now, it's like you have to be willing to know, are they capable of giving you the space or are they just saying it?
Mhm.
And you start to just realize, okay, well, fine. You know, it is what it is. You're not going to
Mhm.
change them.
Hmm.
They're not going to change you.
Hmm.
So what's going to work? What's going to be fun?
Yeah. I like what you said because that was exactly with my ex-boyfriend. He said that, yeah, of course he gives me the space, but I could perceive when we were separate that he was always thinking about me, where I am. He was so jealous. And, at the end, he was sleeping with someone else. That was the nightmare for me because it was like I was so loyal. I wasn't fucking around. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't even thinking about Armin. Look at me. It's been 2 years
Yeah.
and I'm still single. So I'm like, I wasn't looking for
Yeah.
some fun with someone else. And if I would break up and I would go on rides with someone else, but no. And it was so interesting because he was always complaining to me about his ex-girlfriend that the relationship wasn't working for him because the lady always wanted to be with him and he had no space. And when he wanted to travel by himself, and she was jealous and she didn't like it. And I was like, do you realize that you do the same thing with me right now as what she was choosing with you? And it's interesting what other people brings out of you, like at some point he wanted space and now here I am, I want space. And from the very beginning, and he was like, oh, she
Yeah.
wants space. And
He was accusing her of what he was actually doing.
exactly, it was so interesting. And it took me a while to realize because he was really jealous. He wanted to be together all the time. And I was like fighting it because I don't know if you ever had that. It's so interesting. So we were living separately. He would come over. We agreed on spending the weekend together. He arrived and I was super happy to him to come. He came. And after about 4 or 5 hours in, I was like, I need to get out of here. I need, what's going on? And I started becoming like picking up on stuff. Why did you put that? Why did you do that? I don't like it. I don't want to do that. And I was like, he's like, what's going on with you? Why are you so not kind?
Hmm.
And every time I come here, you're like, you have problems. Like, why do I do this? Why do I put? And I was like, I honestly, I don't know what's going on with me. And it took me at least a year into the relationship when on one weekend the same thing happened and I realized, oh, I am being ugly with him because he's so attached. He's kind of like he didn't give me any space and it was just energetic. And I could do that for 6 hours and I was done. And I was like, can you just go home? And he was so upset every single time. He's like, I just came here. We agreed to spend the whole weekend together. What's going on here? And I was like,
Yeah.
I can't be in this space. I need space. And it's not just that I want to be alone. It's more like when we are together, I need space. Just watch you
Yeah.
be. But it didn't go through.
You
So,
know, it reminds me of something that Gary said to me. Um, he said, how did he put it? He's like, you always want to choose more, but the guy just wants to choose you.
oh, wow. Huh.
And so it's like
Yeah.
it's like
Wow.
being caught in a net or something. Whereas,
Hmm.
here we're talking, or any other person who has space and possibilities and who's choosing more, it's fun to talk to them because the energy expands no matter what you're talking about. It can be
Yeah.
any, but with somebody who only wants you, it's like this conclusion energy contracting
Mm.
you
Yeah.
instead of
Wow. Thank
expanding.
you. That's amazing. Huh. Wow. And it's funny because I want to also point this out. I did the same exact thing with my ex-boyfriend. I made him so significant. My point of view was I moved here for you. So you need to be with me. You need to take care of me. You need to blah, blah. And, when I went through this story with this new guy, I had to go back to my ex-husband and tell him, I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry. He's like, I thought you would never see this ever, that you did that, which killed the relationship. Not just that, it was a lot of things, by the way. It's not, as you said, you need two people for a relationship to work and also to end, right? But I really could see myself in that relationship being the victim, or
Yeah,
wanting more, or it was such a mess, and it was like so interesting to see this dynamic. But after that relationship, I changed so much, and I find myself, and I used to have this judgment about myself that I need to be in a relationship. I don't, and I realized it wasn't even my judgment. It was people projecting at me. I'm 40. I need to have a relationship. Why do I don't have kids? Or why am I always working? And, you know, because I am having fun. This is my child, my, my company, And now I am
yeah,
at peace, and I'm open to meet someone. But if I'm going to be on my own for the rest of my life, I think it's great too. I have a relationship with so many people and myself and with the universe, and I'm never alone.
exactly. Yeah. So
Never
is
alone.
there a favorite tool that you use to come to that awareness?
I have so many favorite tools, but I use now one which I love the best. I'm having a moment now in Mexico because I can see where I wasn't choosing what was working for me in the past. And when you are in your environment, in you are in your environment where you do your thing and everything. I was kind of repeating the same thing every single day, and I just couldn't see what wasn't working for me. And I knew I needed to go somewhere else, something really different from what what I
Mm,
had in Hungary. And when I came here, I started to see that when I moved back to Hungary in 2019, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing my thing, and I really enjoyed it. Like one day at the time, and I created posts, and I created my website, and I created classes, and no one showed up, but I was just keep going, trying, and and now I loved it. I was so happy. I had no money, but at the same time, I had so much fun. And I'm realizing now I have money, but I'm not having fun because my company became a structure.
mm,
And I can go back also to my relationship with this, because what I'm realizing now, I really need to forget who I am in order to find who I am really or actually. And this is where I am at the process with myself, is I kind of I made this structure around my life, and I had so many points of views, and so many people, expect me to be things and project things at me. And, oh, Nikolett is CF, or Nikolett, whatever she does. And I'm just realizing, yeah, I am all of that, but I am nothing like that. I am so much more than that. And I'm so happy because I find this new way of being with myself these days. And my favorite tool is, who am I today? That's it. I don't really make it anything else or significant. And I
mm.
started to ask this question a lot when I was at home, because I was so unhappy. I felt so depressed, and I just didn't know what's going on. I have this beautiful house. I just bought a new car. It's beautiful. I have everything I wanted, the beautiful handbags, everything. And what's going on here? And I realized I stopped creating my life. I stopped following the energy. And that gives me, I'm like a shark. When I'm not moving, but I'm not creating, I'm dying. And I realize also that I have this tendency, when there is this emergency, I become myself. In emergency, I change things right away. I create things right away. And I'm realizing more and more that that's me. Why I can't be that on just a Thursday or a Tuesday morning. Why I need some crap in my life, breaking my leg, losing money, or you need to create money last minute or whatever it is. And I'm realizing that's the person who I am. That's the being I would say that I am. And
You're
I
a chaos queen.
yes, I want to know her more and I want to unhide her. So that's where I am at right now. And I think it's going to change my relationships and everything if I am becoming that person. So I want to forget who I think I was a lot. So who are you?
I like
Who am I
that.
today? Yes.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
who I want to forget because yeah, that's a cool girl. But that's not me. I know, Simone said something. I think she said, we are so, what we are capable of choosing, we have not chosen yet.
Right.
And that kind of cracked open something in me. I'm like, wow, I was never being who I could be ever before. I not chosen that yet. And I'm going to choose that. I don't know what it takes. I'm going to. So I don't know. That's a tool for Beauty in the Breakup podcast, but I hope so.
I think so. I mean, the whole point is to be you, whatever that
Mhm.
is, discover that, and like the things that contribute to you being more of you, choose those things, and the things that don't,
Hmm.
bye-bye.
All right. Exactly. And
You know,
it changes you. And also, I think we're so much kinder and we have so much more to offer to people or whatever to the world than we actually choose to. And, if we are here to change the world, I guess that's the way. You be you. And then the rest is up to the energy.
oh my
Oh my
goodness.
God.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you
your
so much.
time.
I
And
adore you. You are amazing. And I'm so grateful you invited me. I'm so, so grateful. And I'm going to get your book for tonight.
oh,
I know what I'm going to read tonight when I'm going to sleep.
it's
I
a
have my
quickie.
Kindle.
It's a quickie.
Amazing. Perfect. That's perfect for me. I want to learn more. Maybe I have to go back to your book also because there are so many good relationship tools in there. So,
Yeah, it's one of those things that I have used over and over and over and over.
hmm.
Um, More like a reference, depending
Hmm.
on what stage you're at. Like, okay, what tools should I be looking at right now? Because when you're in it, everything is out the window.
Yeah.
You're not using any of the tools, so
Yeah.
it helps you find something that you can use. Anyway, yeah, this new book I actually wrote through facilitating clients through
Breakups
total
or
breakups
dating.
and dating and like how to navigate that whole world because a lot of people have a whole lot of judgment and points of view about it. I'm never doing that, or I don't feel
Mm,
comfortable, and all. And it's like, what if it was easy and fun?
yeah.
What if that was the missing key?
Mm.
So,
Maybe that was a missing gift for me. You never know. Maybe I come back for the next episode when I'm like, hey, Julie, can I share my dating experience after you read your book?
I would love that. Yeah,
I would love that.
cool.
Okay. We
All
can
right.
do an experiment on me.
I'll have you on again.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks so much. Bye.